Okay, let's see if you can figure it out. Pile of cut grass, bowl of kitchen scraps, a water hose, and a pitchfork. That's right. It's time to turn the manure pile. So let's see if we can't shovel some poop. Alright, for those of you who don't know, I have a couple of videos in my series for composting. And I'm just adding this one into that playlist. So I'll go ahead and link that playlist above. What we're doing is we are turning our compost. Ooh, I wish you could smell it. It smells like some good composted manure and dirt. What I'm actually going to do is turn in some of this grass, kitchen scraps, which is some old coffee and banana peels and whatnot. And the idea here is you just want to turn it completely. You do want to make sure you wet it down periodically. We've stayed pretty wet with rain, so I think our pile's done okay as far as moisture. But it's warmed up a little bit today, and it's a nice day to come out here and shovel the poop. So anyway, just kind of get a good bit of water in there. Trusty pitchfork. And turn it over. You'll notice I have some stuff growing up on the sides of it. That's not really a big deal. The idea is you want to keep the center of the pile warm enough that it kills seeds and whatnot, but you're not going to be able to stop stuff from growing up along the edges. Turn it a little bit. Pitchfork of cut grass. A little bit more water. You'll see once I dig down in there, it's a little drier than I would like. I really want it more on the moist side in there, so I kind of try to almost dig a hole in there with it. See if we can't drench it up real well. Yeah, see, there's still some solid pieces of manure for you. It's a lovely thought, isn't it? Anyway, evening temperatures are starting to drop, which means all these leaves are going to start dropping. Once it does, I'll balance this out with some more browns. This is heavy on nitrogen, being a big pile of manure to start with, cut grass, stuff like that. I've still got a few of the leaves in here that I put in there in the late spring that hadn't composted well. Apparently I didn't turn it quite enough or something, or deep enough probably. But we're going to go ahead and take care of that now. So, got that good and wet. Yep, that's a pile of wet poop. Even lovelier. make sure you get everything turned over. Kind of want to put the outsides on the inside. You can. Compost is a great thing for gardens and whatnot. It'll fix a lot of soil problems, and it makes a great fertilizer amendment for your garden soil. And you can see a lot of guys out there with recipes on how to make it cook faster and whatnot, but kind of figure nature will take care of it one way or another. I'm just kind of helping it along. All this green stuff in here, this is some of the grass from the edges. You can throw those big old weeds in there, they'll die. As long as the center gets warm enough to kill the seeds, we're good to go. I may be overwatering it right now, but like I said, I think it's a little drier down in there than I wanted. So take an extra minute or two to make sure, go ahead and bury that big old weed stalk I brought up there. Key thing here is you kind of know your compost pile is working if it doesn't stink. And one thing I can say is it doesn't stink. It smells like dirt. It smells like a soil you want in your garden. You see, it's still a little dry down in there, so it obviously did not get as wet as I thought it would. Rain, I should have come out and turned it. But one thing about teaching school for a living is pretty much from August till May, with a couple little breaks in between, you tend to be on the busy side. I will go ahead and recommend get you one of these forks, rakes, shovels, stuff like that. They don't do near as good of a job as just a good old pitchfork does. I started out doing it with an old, I grew up calling it a pitchfork, but I think it's more a potato fork is what it's officially called. It just didn't get deep enough. It wasn't really separated out well to turn it so well. So I think I probably gave 20 bucks at the Big Blue store for that thing, and it's done a good job. Comes with a lifetime guarantee, so one thing I can say about that place is on their hand tools, stuff like this, you walk in there with it, if it's broken they'll just give you another one. There's no hanging on to receipts and junk like that. So like I said, go ahead and pick you up the right tools. You'll spend a little bit up front, but it'll be the last one you ever have to buy. And you see it's starting to get wet down in there. So Bella. And let's see what we got. Kind of keep an eye out for junk you don't want in there, plastics and stuff. This one's a little more moist down inside. And what I'm going to do loudest dog in the world, by the way. Belly, get. Get, come on. Because as I throw a layer on top of it, let it down, toss that next layer over. That's how I got it going. You do not have to start with manure. I mean, compost is cooked now with, grass clippings, newspaper, wood shavings. In fact, here's a partially decomposed piece of newspaper. Nature does a good job of keeping itself balanced. You can even get material for a compost pile driving around the neighborhood. You live in town and you want to have one. Maybe you don't have a bunch of trees to pull from. Everybody's leaves start falling and they bag them and put them out on the road. Go get them. Nobody's going to get you for them. I mean, they're throwing them away. Obviously, I guess technically I should tell you, check with your local city ordinance to make sure you're not violating some kind of Gestapo law. But in general, nobody cares if you take their bags of leaves. I've not really had like I said, a problem with the smell. Hadn't noticed much problem out of critters coming to get stuff. I'm sure they have in the night, but this little compost bin, it's a 3-station compost bin. I'll put a link to how I built those up there on the top. But I don't have but a few bucks in this thing. I mean, pallets are just about free. You see this tarp is nothing fancy. It's one of your Harbor Freight free deals, so a lot of people like to kind of diss Harbor Freight. But I'm sorry, anytime I can get a free tarp, aka compost cover, just for buying something, anything, it's a good thing. I'll put a couple bricks on top of there, keep it from blowing away in the wind. Here in a week or two, I'll open it up, turn it some more, throw some water in there, kind of keep it moist down in there, put that tarp back on it. I want to keep the moisture in there. See if we can't get this thing going a little faster. But that's all there is to it. So we appreciate you watching. Hit like, hit subscribe. Y'all take care.